Hello out there, all you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear, listening into another Gamer's Thoughts discussion. And this time I'm going to be talking about why I'm a gamer. Now, it's probably going to seem redundant to people who have followed my channel for many of the years that I've been doing YouTube. But I figured I'd give a more thorough thought process to this. Because I've often wondered myself, why am I a gamer? Why do I enjoy video gaming so much? I mean, there are simple answers to that, but there's nothing that really dives into my mental, the mental placement of it for me. Because to be honest, I've always known gaming. It's been a part of my life since I was 2 years old, before I could even fully remember things clearly. So, that's, for me, that's a thing that's just been a part of my life, the entirety of it. Yeah, there'll be moments where I'll take off from gaming, but I've always been a gamer down to my very core. And being able to have a world that you can just interact with, and you can change how things happen in it just by pushing a few buttons, moving a mouse, or stroking a few keys, or waving a wand around, that was always something that excited me. Even when I was younger, like I was always imagining the possibilities of so many different things. But unlike a lot of people, I have no recollection of the moment I first got into gaming. Again, I was 2 years old. And according to my eldest brother, I was watching him and my other brother play games like Excite-Bike, Super Mario Brothers, River City Ransom. I was watching them play those games, and I wanted to join in on them. And apparently I picked up Excite-Bike and was pretty good at the game when I was younger. Again, no recollection of it. Don't remember it in the least bit. But I was apparently pretty good from start. I guess I figured out how to copy what they were doing because I may have watched that closely. But again, I really just didn't know. I have no memory of that moment. No, ooh, that's something cool, and I know exactly why I want to do this thing. I know why I want to invest my time and energy into this, because I got this one thing and I had this epiphany and saw it. I don't remember that moment. So for a lot of other people, they remember that moment. I don't. I mean, I doubt I'm the only person who can say that, but I guess I'm also one of a few in a unique category at that point. Well, I'm at least from people who are above the age of 30. Kids now, it's pretty much a part of life unless their family just wholeheartedly is against the idea of using video games as a form of entertainment or anything else. But I've thought to myself, why do I enjoy gaming so much? Other than he was introduced to it at 2 and fell in love with it. You could say that. I could say that, but it's one of those things where I look at them like, I don't know, as an older gamer, and I mean older as in how long I've been doing it, I don't know what drew me to it. I could assume so many things because, again, I was a little kid. I could assume that the bright colors and all the different sounds and the music and everything, it probably intrigued me because back then I was heavily into a lot of that stuff. And I was also big on superheroes, but I know what drew me into superheroes, even though I'm pretty sure I also got introduced to superheroes before video games. But I know exactly what drew me into superheroes. I mean, yes, I can say, yeah, I know what keeps me in gaming, what keeps me interested in the medium. Because there are things that are great about it. Even with all the crap that happens every now and again, and companies do crappy things, and then you have the media that may paint a swath of people under one umbrella because we all just have a similar hobby, and that hobby may have also been a hobby of someone who's a serial killer or a murderer or some sort. And then just say, well, video games make everyone violent. Playing video games all my life, have not spent time in jail or committed any violent crimes against anyone. Just not how I'm built. I know that that's a fantasy world. I've always known that that's a fantasy world, and a place that's meant to inspire and possibly intrigue your imagination. But that's the same thing with superheroes, with comics. That's the same thing with different types of books. And many people wouldn't realize this, but as far as reading, I've always loved detective or mystery novels as my thing. I couldn't write one, but I love reading them. I'm not good with developing detective type stories, even though I'm a very observant person. I don't know, maybe there's just a little bit of a disconnect there, but that's a side note to what I'm trying to go over. I just look at the fact that I have enjoyed gaming for so long, and it's just like, it's wild to me that I'm in my mid 30s and can't say, well, hey, this is what made me love video games. This is what made me decide that I want to play them and get to know them. I never got to really, well, I got to have that moment. I just don't remember it. And I could ask people about it, and I have. And it's one of those things where it's like, I guess it bothers me a little bit because I don't remember having that first experience to see a video game and be like, oh, what is that? That's so cool. That's something that drew me in like that. I don't have that moment in my memory banks anywhere. All I know is I've been playing video games since the age of 2. And for most video games, I was actually a pretty competent player. Pretty much that. Pretty much that. But there are a lot of people who did get to have that aha moment. And I guess I'm a tad bit envious that my parents weren't more strict with that type of stuff, at least early on. To say, no, you can't play video games. You can't have them around. But then if my family was more strict, I probably wouldn't have been playing games like Mortal Kombat, Eternal Champions, the Resident Evil games, Silent Hill. I probably wouldn't have played half of that stuff when I was younger. Hell, they probably wouldn't have let me play Mario or Sonic. Or they probably wouldn't have let me watch Looney Tunes and stuff like that. It's just, thinking it over, it does sound stupid to say it. But it's just one of those things where I'm like, I don't get to have fresh eyes to the medium. I haven't had the chance to have fresh eyes to the medium for a very long time. Now, granted, like anybody who's enthusiastic about a subject, if something new pops up and it looks particularly intriguing to me, of course, I'm going to be like, ooh, wow, that looks nice. I'm interested in that. I would love to play that. Point being, though, I don't get to have that from the ground up moment and experience. And I guess that does suck to me a little bit. Because it's one of those things where it's been ingrained in me so long. I'm like, guess it's just one of those things I can't do. And I know this all sounds like nonsense to some people, but others will probably understand where I'm coming from. Like, it's just been there your whole life, so you didn't get to have the ooh and ahs for it. You didn't get to you didn't get to be there at the start of it or fall into it by accident. It was just there. It was just there. It was just a thing for me. But like, and when I was younger, I was under the assumption that gaming was a lot more popular than I even knew, because again, there were magazines, there were there were comic books with advertisements in them. So as a kid, I thought maybe a lot more people were playing video games than I actually came to find out as I got older. So, and that was the thing that would throw me for a loop, is when I would meet a kid in school that didn't play video games, and I would look at them like they were strange, forgetting that, well, not knowing that it wasn't as popular as I thought it was. It was still very niche. And the people that did play got made fun of for some reason. I don't know. I guess where there's so much stuff with nostalgia and things with so many games that are being redone, remastered, remade, and people can be nostalgic of their first experience gaming, I can look back and I don't have a first gaming experience that I can recall. I have first gaming moments that I can recall, but I don't have that very first experience dialed up in memory. And I think that's probably the thing that really does bug me, is that I can't just go back and say, yeah, I know what it was like the first time I picked up a controller and I sat down in front of a TV with the NES on, and my brother booted up Excitebike to see how I would play it. I don't recall any of it. And you would think I would just say, screw it, write it off. It's no big deal. But I guess there is a part of me that just kind of wonders, what was that experience like? That's something that I did and have no clue about. So, I think I'm done waxing poetic here. Again, people will probably understand where I'm coming from. Maybe even there are some younger gamers who will be able to identify with this now, because gaming has always been there for them. They don't remember their first experience playing a video game. It's just been there. And then there are people that will remember their first experience because they were, sheltered from the idea of video games and told that it would rot their brain. Even though it's been proven to be factually false. And actually, when people play video games, their reflexes, response times, and things are heightened, and their critical thinking is heightened depending upon the game that they play. But that's a whole different conversation for a whole different day. But I think I'm going to end it here. You guys just go ahead and tell me what you think. I know I've just went off on a tangent of tangents, and I guess I just felt like I needed to get it done and out. Plus, I have been lacking on content, which I'm trying to correct. So whatever random thoughts pop into my head will probably end up in a discussion of some kind. But that's it. Thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games and peace out.